Please rise if you wish for the invocation and the pledge. Dear God, we, an impatient people, sometimes think it takes forever to get government projects moving. Tonight, we are grateful that work has begun on Fort Florida Stormwater Underpass after many years of efforts to get contributions from FPL and the state. We are also thankful that the entrance to Alexander Island can be constructed while Fort Florida Road is closed. The closure is frustrating, but unavoidable as we get these projects done. In addition, we will consider tonight a plan to take control of the problematic former Bank of America building and to find a purchaser that will commit to add a facility to our city in a reasonable time frame. We can't wait to once again have an attractive and contributing business on that site. As we consider the matters before us this evening, grant us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we may make the best decisions for those who have entrusted us to represent them. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is the regular City Council meeting for the month of February 2026. City Clerk, would you do roll call, please?
Councilmember Sell.
Here.
Councilmember Papalardo.
Here.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Here.
Mayor Chazet.
Here.
Vice Mayor Butlin.
Here. Being the first month, we have a time for public participation for any items that are not on the agenda. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. I call to when your name is called, give your name and address for the record, and you step up to the podium and speak into that mic. Cynthia Boer.
Hello, good evening. I moved to DeBary when I bought land and built a house 28 years ago.
I need your name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cynthia Boer in Orlandia Heights.
Thank you.
I built my house 28 years ago. I worked as a science teacher in a local high school, raised 2 children in DeBary who went away to college, and recently returned to DeBary with toddlers and DeBary grown spouses. All contribute to our community. My son is a local engineer, married to his wife is a local nurse. My daughter is a local physician, and her husband is a local firefighter. We all contribute to our community because we love DeBary and we want to help keep it a nice place to grow a family. I'm doing this because I want you to see what happened to me on January 9th. An unknown man aggressively knocked on my door. I looked out the window, saw he had his vehicle parked in front of my house, and it said pressure washing. On my Ring camera, I told him I'm not interested, thank you very much, and he said I'm not here for that. I'm here in regards to you making complaints about my property. So I assumed it was the elderly man who's lived in that neighborhood longer than me, 28 years. So I opened the door feeling that it was going to be safe. He began with asking me, why am I mad at him? Why can't he do what he wants on his property? The truck had a bad wheel and many reasons for why he couldn't move that truck. So I offered to him to ask the gentleman who maintains our roads out there to help him move the vehicle with a tractor. He later ended up, the man went there, offered his help, and he declined that help. As he was talking to me, he said, just tell me, what can I do to make you stop reporting me? He was getting more and more aggressive. Or agitated, I should say, as he was talking with me. And I felt at that point that it was not going to be safe for me to continue talking to him. So I put up my hand and I said, stop, I'm finished talking about this. And I quickly, because I was home alone, closed the door, locked the door, and then called the neighbor who had the tractor to maybe go and assist him so this could be resolved and not be an issue. So that night, fearful, being home alone, thinking, oh my gosh, this man's going to come back to my house. I barely slept through the night. Next morning, I went straight to the police station. I filed a report, and they advised me to also put up no trespassing signs, but I already had them, but they were ignored. I have them at both entrances to my driveway. Then I went to the city hall and spoke with Russ Emerson, the code enforcement gentleman, about the situation. And he's the one who informed me about the change in the Florida state law regarding reporting and how that is handled. So this Senate Bill 60 prohibits code enforcement officers from investigating anonymous complaints. So basically, because I'm going to be short on time, this new statute required me to give my name and address, and I didn't feel that was going to be a problem because I never ever anticipated that somebody would come to my house and confront me about this. It was just a neighborly thing. I just want my neighborhood to look nice. And so
Okay, your time has been out for about a half a minute. Did you provide this to us? I haven't looked at it.
I did.
Okay, well then that will be available for us to look at. What I would say to you is, I personally also find the law change somewhat frustrating myself, but it is the law, and it was implemented several years ago, and it's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
optional for us.
But if you look at my notes on the second page, I quoted the Florida statute that gives you an alternative that the city of DeLand and Port Orange are both doing.
Well, thank you for your comments.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. There are pictures of some of the infractions. Of course, there are many, but I'm not trying to be that person.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Sorry for going over.
Yes. Benjamin Cairns. Name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Benjamin Cairns. I live at 2143 Bruce Drive in Deltona. Good evening, Mayor Shazes, Vice Mayor Boulton, and Council Members Sell, Papalato, and Stevenson. My name is Benjamin Cairns. I serve as Assistant Senior Patrol Leader here at Troop 306 here in DeBary. As part of our commitment to being more involved in the community, our troop would like to come before the council periodically to share a brief update on our activities. Currently, Troop 306 has 25 active scouts. In 2025, we were proud to have 5 scouts achieve the rank of Eagle, including myself as the troop's 50th Eagle Scout. In addition, 9 of our scouts advanced in rank and earned 93 merit badges throughout the year. Our troop enjoyed 11 camping trips, including our summer adventure at Woodruff Scout Camp in northern Georgia, where scouts and parents participated in a week of outdoor activities and skill building. Community service remains a cornerstone of our program. This past year, we contributed to projects such as expanding the gate entryway, building a fire pit at the church property on Fort Florida Road, assisting with Thanksgiving and Christmas food distribution, placing flags, wreaths at local cemeteries for Memorial Day and Christmas, and planting wildflowers in Glencoe Park. Our premier service project was the annual Scouting for Food drive, where thanks to the generosity of the DeBary residents, we collected over 4,000 pounds of food in partnership with local Cub Scout packs and the Community Church of DeBary. We also supported local events, including handing out finish line medals at the Legends of Central Florida 5K at Gemini Springs, where 22 scouts and family members participated. Thank you for your time and your continued support in Scouting DeBary. We look forward to sharing more updates in the future.
Thank you so much. That's
course. Have a
very
good night.
impressive.
Congratulations.
And congratulations on your Eagle Scout. That's wonderful. James or Sumiko Daigon, is it? Okay, whoever's going to speak, come up to the mic and name and address for the record.
I'm fairly deaf. I can't hear anything. I will not be able to hear anything you say. And I would like to hand these out. It states our case. It is a case, if that's okay.
Give that to the city clerk. She can distribute it. City clerk. And we will look at it after you speak. We will look at it later. No, just give her the stack to hand out, and you need your, Eric, could you stop the time for a moment?
If you just hand me the, yes, you can hand me the papers, and then you can speak at the microphone.
Yes, but
Okay.
she has chosen to have him speak.
There's two parts. This is
Okay, and we'll resume your time now.
The first part explains that we were trying to retire, and we sent it up here to City Hall. And within a month, we were charged with all kinds of code violations, which I'm not denying. The car business, you get a lot of code violations. And it's all explained in there. We did everything we possibly could. We cleaned trees. We cleaned over into the vacant lot where whatever his name said we had to clean. And he kept hounding us and hounding it. It's all in there. I wish you would read it. We're down to, we have a car lot for 35 years in the same place. Patricia knows that. Sure, we had problems, mostly codes. Now they say our license no longer lets us have cars on our car lot. Explain that to me. They want us to have tags, registrations on all our used cars. We got rid of probably 30-some cars and 3 or 4 boats. They're gone. We did everything we possibly could. So we're down to the cars and 3 boats. And the codes enforcer says, and he even has it in writing if you want me to show it to you. It says, please remove or license all cars, trailers, boats. I did that. They're all done. They all got, every one of them, every trailer, except for the used cars. Now he turned around and said, we got to remove the boats. We got to remove the cars. What are we supposed to do? And he comes with these pictures, these ugly pictures to make things look worse than they are. There's nothing in this picture. There's a couple cars, a couple tools, and a can of paint. But look at it. It's ugly. And he did that on purpose. I don't know why he's doing it to us. All we want to do is retire. We want this to end and quit dragging it out. We could finish this up in a few months. 36 years, and this is what you do to us? That's all we're asking. Leave us alone, and we'll finish it. It's horrible. My neighbor, a Japanese lady, my wife is Japanese, and my other neighbor, Brian Miller, we were all writing up at the same time. Endless threats, fines, we're going to do this to you, we're going to do that to you. Me, Brian, and the Japanese lady down the next street. This all happened in 60 days. She would stop by and tell us how horrible it was that they were treating her. She was all alone. She dies. We don't know what from. I went to the police station. I wanted to know what happened to her.
Your time is up, so you need to wrap it up.
And then they harassed Brian Miller, harassed him. He's over there. He has a bad back. He's only 54 years old. He's lifting all this heavy metal.
I need you to wrap it up. Your time has been over for a minute.
I can't hear.
See the blinking light? The red timer?
1 more minute.
No, you've already been over 1 minute. Thank you very much. You have provided the data here. I would suggest that you speak.
We aren't going to let this in. You're not going to bulldoze us.
I would suggest you speak to the city manager about your plan to finish wrapping it
She
up.
fell on the floor, bloody, vomiting. I had to rush her to the hospital, and they said, what is wrong with you? And
Okay.
she said about the city codes.
Okay,
The psychiatrist said, that'll do it.
okay. Thank you, sir.
3.
Excuse me, sir.
Close to dying.
Excuse me, sir. Next,
Passion,
next,
we want it to end. That's all we ask.
sir, I suggest you speak to the city manager to create a,
Letter to every person in this city
okay,
explaining this.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Tired of it.
Next on our agenda is the approval of minutes. We have the minutes from the special city council meeting of December 17th, 2025, the city council meeting of January 7, 2026, and the special city council meeting of January 21, 2026.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the December 17, 2025 meeting, the council meeting of January 7, 2026, and the special meeting on January 21, 26.
Second.
Vice Mayor Butlin?
Yes.
Councilmember Sells?
Yes.
Councilmember Papalardo?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson?
Yes.
And I am a yes. Are there any additions, deletions, or amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, we will move on to presentations. We have with us this evening Ben Eby, who is Vice President, Administrator of Halifax Health, Port Orange, and Medical Center of Deltona, who will give us an overview of community resources, facility updates, and services. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and City Council members. I appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening. I'd like to give you an update of what we're doing at the Medical Center of Deltona, which serves all of West Volusia residents. But I want to start out by giving a little bit of history on Halifax Health. Our mission at Halifax Health is to be the community health care leader. We do this through exceptional talent of our staff, superior patient-centered care that we provide, and we do this in a financially sustainable manner, which has enabled us to provide services to the Volusia community for almost 100 years. We were founded in 1928, and that started when a group of residents from Volusia County went to Tallahassee to advocate for healthcare services that didn't exist in Volusia County. And since then, we've been growing, adding services, expanding care to Volusia County, and now we are in West Volusia also providing these services to all the residents of West Volusia. We are owned and operated by the community and invest everything back into our community. We have over 600 licensed beds, over 600 physicians. There's some stats there for you to see, but we've grown so much in the last 98 years, and in doing so, we continue to provide the highest level of care to Volusia County. Here's some of the achievements that we've accomplished recently and continue to add new services and specialties and provide the highest level of care. We're the only level 2 trauma center, level 3 neonatal ICU. A lot of this is what we provide at our main location in Daytona, but each and every year we bring more of these services to West Volusia. These are a sampling of our 50-some specialties that we offer. Everything in the left column are services and specialties that we have by our employed Halifax Health physician. All of the specialties on the right are ones that we partner with the UF Health. Rather than compete with the best, we decided to partner with the best, and we continue to add more and more services through our partnership with UF Health. In the last year, we've cared for this many patients, over 100,000 emergency room visits in our hospitals and emergency departments, admitted over 28,000 patients, almost 18,000 surgeries. So the need in Volusia County is really great. We do this through our 3 hospitals. So we have our original hospital in Daytona Beach since 1928. We opened the Port Orange Hospital 20 years ago. And our hospital in Deltona was opened on February 4th, so today is our anniversary of opening in 2020. So we've now been there for 6 years as of today. So thank you for celebrating our anniversary with us today. We do so much more than our hospital walls, though. We have a complete continuum of care with primary care specialties, pediatric locations, express care locations. We have a partnership with Brooks for rehabilitation. We have a 5-star home health agency, and the top-rated, most recommended hospice agency in all of Central Florida is through Halifax Health. So if you're ever in need of any of those services, please make sure that you ask for Halifax Health. We continue to add new services. So in 2025, we expanded our inpatient Brooks services. We added a neuroscience center of excellence, which centralizes all of the neurosciences into one location. So you don't have to be referred and transferred to different locations. It can all be done in this neuroscience center. And we added some new surgical specialties last year also. We opened 2 new freestanding emergency departments, one in Port Orange and one in Daytona on Hand Avenue, and continue to look for other opportunities to expand our reach so we can serve more patients in that way. So, Medical Center of Deltona. All of these services, I wanted to give you that overview because all of these we have brought or are bringing to West Volusia, and the goal is to expand services in West Volusia until the residents no longer have to leave. Currently, for some services, you either have to go to Daytona or to Orlando, and our goal is to bring everything here to West Volusia, and we do this through the Medical Center of Deltona. And we opened our emergency department in 2018 and our full-service hospital in 2020, and these are the number of patients that we've served. So the need here is great. We were asked to come here 10 years ago to provide an option for healthcare services, and that's what we've done, and the need has been demonstrated here. So we continue to grow. This is what we have added in just the last year at the Medical Center of Deltona. So we added the Cancer Center of Hope, so we can care for oncology patients there now. We added pulmonology function testing. We became a primary stroke center. We added a pain medicine specialist, and we became a bariatric center of excellence. And our plans for this year is to add neurosurgery, urology. We're expanding to interventional cardiology, and we'll be adding pediatric primary care. So lots of service added last year, many more services added this year, continuing to expand and grow so that we can serve all of West Volusia residents. Really exciting is we're expanding within our hospital also. We're adding 19 new emergency department rooms, so we'll have a 30-bed emergency department, and we're adding 47 additional inpatient rooms. So we'll be growing from our existing beds to a total of 90 inpatient beds. Those will then meet capacity, I'm expecting, within the next couple of years, and then we can add 3 more stories to our tower to double again and add another 90 beds. So a lot happening right now. It's exciting to be in West Volusia. West Volusia is growing. We're going to grow with it and continue to add and expand our services for everybody here, including the residents of DeBary. Some drawings just to show you our expansion. The inside the red circle is what we're doing in our emergency department and some ongoing construction. This should all be done by the end of March, beginning of April. And then the colored rooms are the expansion in our ICU. And this will be the 6th floor and an additional 30 med-surg beds that we're adding there also. So lots of activity and excitement. Would love to give you a tour sometime if you've never been there. And wanted to end with some of the awards that we won last year, voted the best in Deltona for our healthcare facility, our surgical center, and we have some fantastic providers. Dr. Rhodes is an orthopedic surgeon, and Dr. Amin is one of our primary care providers, and they won the best in Deltona also. So thank you for the opportunity to present, and happy to serve the residents of DeBary.
Thank you for that overview. I really do appreciate it, and I'm aware of your growth in the last year because I have been over there. But I think it's important for the community to understand, too, that there is more capacity and more beds coming. Did anyone on the council want to say anything to the representative?
Thank you. Thanks for
Thank you
coming
very
in.
much.
And love the updates. Appreciate
Yes.
it.
Next, we have the Volusia Sheriff's Office 2025 Year in Review. Captain Ben Yisrael, I believe, will be the presenter. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Manager, council members. I'm Captain Israel, the District Commander for District 6. I have with me today my Lieutenant, Joel Turney. I'll let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about himself.
Good evening. I'm Lieutenant Joel Turney. I've been with the Sheriff's Office for almost 24 years. I have 25 years in law enforcement. I have my background, I have a master's degree in criminal justice and homeland security. I previously worked in the city of DeBary as a patrol sergeant years ago, and now I'm back here as the assistant district commander. I've been assigned here since October, but I've been out of the area and taken a leadership course. So now I'm back here full time and look forward to working with everybody here.
Welcome.
I'm happy to have him back.
Yes.
They all come back.
Yes. Sheriff Chip sends his regards. He could not make it this evening. Something came up, but he says hello. So I'm going to start off with the 2025 year in review report. If you look up here to the TV to your right or your left, you'll see I have some visual aids. The first thing I'm going to show you here is some community events that we've done with the city and others. This first one here is the DeBerry Community, the Citizens Academy. So the Citizens Academy is something that we put on with the city, and it helps the citizens understand what city government has to offer, to include the sheriff's office, some of our resources. They come out and they speak with our personnel. They see some of the equipment that the city has invested in, and it gives them a better understanding of what's going on here in the city of DeBerry. This next photo here is going to be our summer camp program. And again, for the summer camp program, we enjoy doing this. So our specialized units usually come out to the camp and answer questions for the children. We'll show them demonstrations of our K-9, what they do as far as apprehension. We'll bring out the helicopter. We'll bring out motorcycles and show them what the motor officers do and just ask questions. SWAT comes out and show them some of the cool toys that we have. This next slide here is, again, a picture of the summer camp kids in front of Air One. I know that they loved that. This next picture here is our National Walk to School Day. This picture was actually up in Orange City. That's the unincorporated area of District 6 that I'm responsible for as well. The sheriff came out and he did a walk with the students that morning. Here's a picture of the sheriff for National Night Out. National Night Out we do once a year, usually around in October. And again, we bring out our toys. We have candy and different events. We partner with the fire services and public works in the city as far as bringing our assets and resources out and answering any questions that anyone may have. This here is our Academy Class 08. So what our Academy class do, we have the training academy that the sheriff started here. So at every phase of their training, they go to different cities and they do a run. They do a 1 mile run, 2 mile runs, 3 mile, all the way to 4 miles, I believe, or 5. On this particular day, they were out there doing a 3 mile run through the city of DeBerry, early in the morning, waking up those who were still asleep. So I'm gonna get into significant events. We don't have many. I'm gonna start off with a video here, and we'll go from there. Girl Scouts visited us and delivered some cookies to us.
Listen to me. You need to calm down. How many officers are here? I see it. We are trying to figure out what's going on.
This was an incident that came out as a
You keep yelling at us.
armed robbery.
Okay?
Essentially, you had two neighbors, not side-by-side neighbors, but two individuals in the community that had an issue where it resulted in the father of these individuals going up to one of the individuals with this female and pistol whipping him.
First we had to strip
We ultimately located him, took him into custody, and uncovered that it was more to the story than what was
I got
reported.
him driving up the street here.
Okay, yes, sir.
This was a crash, single vehicle crash.
You hit a telephone. Holy crap, bro. And you're thinking you're
It's
going to...
amazing that he survived that, and with minimal damage. I think he took out a light pole. I think that's all that he took out.
My goal is to have him in jail tomorrow.
Oh, really?
I would like to do it today, but I don't see that happening. Tomorrow is my goal, so.
Oh, you think we have enough evidence?
So I don't know if you heard about the theft at the assisted living facility in DeBerry, but this is the suspect or defendant now
More than enough
at the pawn shop delivering or dropping off or selling the items that he took. He decided to do the right thing and turn himself in before we went looking for him.
You're in Heller yet?
After we arrested him on this charge and
Turn around for us real quick.
the assisted living facility put a public service announcement out, we uncovered several more thefts that he's being charged with.
Yep, I'm going to talk to you about that soon as we get you screened.
We got it done. Search them. Okay. Yeah, we'll be right back, okay?
So I'm going to move into a couple of significant events here. This case here highlights resources that the city has invested in as far as technology, license plate readers and the like. So on January 14th, deputies responded to Rob Sullivan Park for the complaint of a stolen vehicle. Deputies got on scene, spoke with the driver of their vehicle to determine a male, we later found out, jumped into the vehicle and fled the area. Through technology, through canvassing the areas, we located video that identified this guy getting into the vehicle. We took that still image and sent it out to all of the deputies, where ironically, the day prior, one of our deputies made contact with this individual, documented him by name and number so we knew exactly who we were looking for. In addition to that, through technology, we were able to determine that the vehicle taken was taken out of county and had entered Seminole County. We had a timeline of where the vehicle was traveling. So deputies went over to Seminole in conjunction with Seminole and located the vehicle at the Wawa and located the defendant in the area of the vehicle. So that was a successful recovery of a vehicle. It was a city vehicle, actually. And I would say that all came to an end with about 2 hours. So good job with the deputies. And again, we attribute the success to technology that we have here in the city. This next case here is a kidnapping. Now, I'll tell you, kidnappings are few and far between, and when kidnappings are reported, there usually aren't kidnappings. Well, this particular incident was a true kidnapping on First Street. So the homeowner was forcibly removed from his home by who we later found out to be 4 family members and 2 friends. Their intent was to provide some type of intervention that they felt that he needed. We got on scene, tried to sort out the situation as to what actually happened. And once we started to uncover through talking to witnesses and canvassing the neighborhood again for cameras and such, we located a vehicle of interest that we put into our LPR systems, start tracking vehicles. Ultimately, through that and other technology, we was able to locate the vehicle involved over in Deltona, where we located the individuals responsible for the kidnapping as well as the victim. So we recovered the victim and made the arrest of the individuals responsible for that. Moving on to traffic operations. As you know, throughout the year, we get traffic complaints. Traffic complaints is one of our #1 complaints, and it's countywide, and that's just through the city. So in DeBary, we usually partner up with the city of Deltona and special services to provide traffic enforcement in areas that we target. We've done several operations throughout the year. One particular operation, we've completed 45 traffic stops, 50 citations, 2 arrests. At the end of the year, we usually do something called we call it Rolling Thunder, or it's a New Year's Eve operation, where we go out and, again, target enforcement. From that, we used 329 traffic stops, 279 citations, 4 criminal citations, 3 arrests, and 1 DUI. That 1 DUI happened here in DeBary over at 1792 and North Shell Road. So that's good that we only had 1 DUI and no one was injured. Property damage, but no one was injured. Traffic stats here. So if you look at these numbers here, you see numbers with an asterisk on it. The asterisk represents the numbers for the city of DeBary. The other number is the district as a whole. So for traffic stops this year, for 2025, last year, over 7,000 traffic stops. DeBary, we had 3,499. Written citations in DeBary, we had a little over 2,000. Warnings issued, a little over 2,000. Moving into traffic crashes, motor vehicle crashes, we had in DeBary 322 crashes. Now, these crashes are not all violent or huge crashes. Some of them are fender benders. Nonetheless, they are crashes where a crash report was taken. Misdemeanor traffic-related arrests, we had 263 for the year. And felony traffic arrests, we had 32 for the year. This is along the lines or kind of in the same realm as last year. And I should have put those numbers up there. So moving into statistics for the year. What you're looking at here now are the offenses. You have a comparison. If you look all the way to your left, there's a comparison for the month of December for 2024 and 2025. Total persons crimes, you see an increase in persons crimes offenses. Property crimes, you see a slight increase from December 2024 to December 2025. If you go over to the right, you'll see the comparison for the year. So for the year of 2024, persons crimes, we've gone up a slight bit. For property crimes, we've gone down a slight bit. Totally, for property crimes or for person crimes in total, we call them Group A offenses. We've gone up about 11%. Now, with that being said, look at our clearance rates. Clearance rates are with offenses or crimes that are being reported to us and that we investigate, we actually make arrests. And I think we're doing pretty good with our clearance rates. So in comparison from 2024 to 2025, 2024, our persons crimes was for clearance rates 87%. 2025, 91% clearance rate, person crime. Property crimes, 50%. In 2024, 2025, 56%. Now, this 56%, if you take out frauds, which is a big issue countywide, our clearance rate would be 70%, which is pretty good. That brings us to a total of 85% clearance rate. The national average for clearance rates as of 2024, persons crimes is 43% cleared, where we're sitting at 91%. Property crimes, 15% cleared, where we're sitting at 70%. So we're doing pretty good based on the national average as far as clearances. Something else I want to present to you is we looked at the offenses and it appears the numbers have gone up. With this new UCR reporting system, FIBERS and NIBERS, in the past, the best way I can explain this is in the past, if you had an offense, say a robbery, a murder, and a rape, all involved in an offense. In the old reporting system, we would report the most heinous crime, which is the robbery. Which is the murder. So that would go down as one offense. Under NIBERS now, we are reporting more accurately what's happening in each event. So even though there was one incident, we report the rape, the murder, and a robbery. So it shows as the numbers, they increase by 3, but they're only associated to that one incident. Making that arrest clears 3 incidents or 3 cases as opposed to 1, if that makes any sense, okay? So again, when you look at the offenses, the numbers may seem higher, but look at the clearance rates, and we're doing phenomenal with our clearance rates. This here is our domestic violence numbers. And if you look at last year to this year, we've had a decrease in domestic violence overall, which is good. I am proud to say, if you come to our crime meetings, more often than not, when it comes to domestic violence incidents, they're usually CBA'd. We rarely have any that are outstanding. If there are any that haven't been CBA'd, we have warrants, and we know who they are. We're just looking for them.
Could you tell the audience CBA stands for cleared by arrest?
CBA stands for cleared by arrest. Yes, ma'am. CBA stands for cleared by arrest. I'm sorry. So this here is the comparison of last year to this year. We just talked about that. And that's it. That's all that I have to present to you all. Again, the Sheriff's Office, thank you for being a wonderful partner with us. Whenever we need anything, you're there for us. And I'm hoping that we can continue to provide the service that we've been providing for you and that you're satisfied with that.
Right. Well, thank you for the presentation, and I know that I really appreciate the quarterly updates that I take part in with your entire team and the sheriff. And this annual capsule is a nice way to look at it and have broader dissemination of the information. Is there anyone else on council that would like to speak? Councilmember Stevenson?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much for the presentation and for everything you guys have been doing to keep DeBerry safe. I've been a supporter of flock cameras in our area since the beginning when we first put them on as extra eyes in the streets, and can appreciate how they've repeatedly shown value in helping to solve crimes quickly. However, as our town and other towns have been expanding their use of flock cameras, I have a lot of people in social media asking questions about flock cameras and concerns about their privacy. Would you mind me asking you a few questions about that?
Not at all.
All right, first of all, can you tell me exactly what are the cameras photographing from each vehicle? For example, is it just the license plate or is it the entire vehicle?
So the cameras photograph the license plate, but it also photographed the vehicle. The vehicle in the sense of characteristics, the make, model, type, if there are stickers or any unique characteristic to the video is what it captures. It doesn't capture inside the vehicle. It doesn't capture who the driver is. That we don't have. It just acts as if we're in that location. If we were there in that location at that time when we see the vehicle, we would see the type of vehicle, we would see the tag, and we would run it. So the flock camera is just recording or capturing an image that we would see if we were there, nothing more.
Okay. And then how is this information being stored? For example, is the license plate number just kept as that, or are the photos also linked along with the license plate number?
The license plate number and photos, and in some instances, there is no license plate. There's the photo of a vehicle that we can do a search with too. That's only stored for 30 days. After 30 days, it purges itself. Flock does an audit to make sure that it is purging every 30 days.
Oh, good. You preemptively answered my next question, which was about the retention policy. So 30 days and they're automatically cleared.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then regarding other local agencies, for example, you mentioned a case where somebody came in from another county, or they cross county lines, or they cross city lines. How is that information being shared between agencies? Is it like a case-by-case basis where they have a tag, or are they openly looking through all of our records?
So Flock is a network of cameras, if you will. The same system that we have here in the city of DeBerry, we have over in Daytona, we have in Seminole County, we have in Miami, if they're all a part of their Flock network. Only law enforcement have access to that. Only those who are certified through CJIS and have access to FCIC and NCIC has access to that. And it's not disseminated to anyone else but law enforcement. Any civilians involved would be civilian analysts that are a part of our investigative units. That's all. Those are the only ones who have access to that.
So basically sheriff's departments. What about like FBI, CIA, ICE?
Sheriff's office, police departments, municipalities. All law enforcement that have access to or are NCIC, FCIC certified can potentially access it. It's the same thing as if our David system where we run license plates, not license plate checks, but driver's license checks. It's the same type of platform.
All right, and the last question, I've had several people asking me, they're concerned about the cameras being used to give tickets. Are any of our Flock cameras capable or planned to be used to give people traffic tickets, for example, speeding, running lights, etc.?
No, ma'am, we do not use the Flock for that. The Flock is not set up for that. Again, the Flock is designed as essentially observation platform. If we were in place of where the camera is, we would be observing a tag, the characteristics of a vehicle, direction it's going, and a time that it's passed through there. It's not a red light camera. It's none of that. We don't write or issue citations from it. It's solely for investigative purposes.
Thank you very much. That answers my questions and hopefully puts the residents' concerns at ease. Thank you.
Thank you.
On that same note, every time you drive a highway, you're going to get cameraed by these toll cameras, and they take pictures of you in the car.
Yes.
So as well as the license plate. So thank you very much. I love seeing stats. I love the fact that we're still a very safe city, and as much as we've grown, we're improving all the time.
Yes.
So I appreciate you guys, and thank you very much, and my best to Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are moving on to our consent agenda.
I'll make a motion. Oh, go ahead.
Move to approve the consent agenda items 4 and 5.
Second.
Councilmember Papalardo?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Butland?
Yes.
Councilmember Sell?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson?
Yes.
And I am a yes. So we are now at Public hearings, item number 6. Growth Management is requesting the City Council approve the second reading of ordinance number 09-2025, a request for a comprehensive plan future land use map amendment to reclassify the property addressed as 465 West Highbanks Road from agriculture open space to agricultural rural transitional. City Attorney, would you read ordinance number 09-2025?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 09-2025, an ordinance of the City Council of DeBary, Florida, amending the city's comprehensive plan future land use map, the FLUM or FLUM, changing the future land use designation of a parcel of land being approximately plus minus 18.05 acres located at 465 West Highbanks Road, amending such designation from agriculture/open space, that's A/OS, to agriculture/rural transitional, that's A/RT, providing for transmittal, severability conflicts, and an effective date.
Thank you.
Before I proceed, do we want to handle this in the quasi-judicial matter?
No, this is a legislative and the next is quasi-judicial.
Double checking. All right, this is ordinance 9-2025. It is for a future land use map amendment. Following this, there will be a quasi-judicial hearing for the rezoning of this same subject property. But some basic background. Last July, the applicant, which is the Community Methodist Church, had applied for a future land use map amendment to reclassify their property at 465 West Highbanks, as stated by the attorney, from agricultural open space to agricultural rural transition. We continued with this process with the applicant. We heard the we held a development review committee to discuss the item and recommended that the City Council approve this. The intent of this whole operation is for the applicant to be able to parcel off a 1-acre lot, which would not have been permissible under the current conditions. In early November, the City Council approved the first reading of the ordinance. The city staff had, after that hearing, had transmitted the packet to both the Volusia Growth Management Commission and the state of Florida, and we've had no objections from either the Volusia Growth Management Commission or the state of Florida and their multiple agencies. This is a survey of the property. On the top part of the page is West Highbanks. On the left side of the page is Fort Florida Road. It's approximately 18.05 acres. Within the property itself, just under 3 acres at 2.91 acres is a conservation easement. There's also a tower lease area which provides cell phone service to the entire western part of DeBary. The parcel that is proposed to be taken from this property is in the immediate top right of the schematic or the northeast corner of the property. Looking at it on a future land use map, this is how it currently sits. The property is the square in the center of the map, and it is outlined in a teal/green type color. When it transitions over, it'll be indicated in the yellow in the center, which is very consistent with the other surrounding land uses as far as densities and intensities go. What this ordinance will do is reclassify the future land use and take from a future land use which currently permits 1 dwelling unit per 5 acres to a land use which permits 1 dwelling unit per 1 acre, which again is consistent with the densities and intensities of the surrounding properties. As a comprehensive plan, we do look at several things. We look at the goals, objectives, policies of our comprehensive plan. Looking at this property, we do know there are wetlands and floodplains identified, but as any type of activity on the property, though, any property would be subject to further review if developed or anything done with it. We also look at primarily at 5.105, which considers a plethora of elements and evaluation criteria. We found that really the intensity and density is very consistent with what is surrounding properties have, which is primarily your 1 dwelling unit per acre. We've looked at further items which are listed on the screen, and these have been discussed in depth at the first reading. But is it consistent with the comprehensive plan? We do find it so. We looked at the impact of environmental and mitigation of adverse effects, existing future development in the vicinity, and seeing if it's really a vis-a-vis good design and orderly pattern of development with what is currently in the surrounding area. And we have found it to be suitable and meet the criteria of 5.505. The proposed future land use element would appear to be consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of our entire comprehensive plan. As far as infrastructure impact, as any development in the city, infrastructure development would be evaluated at any proposal coming forward. That applies to every piece of property within the city. So it would consistently follow the same business type rules. We look at aspects of the Community Planning Act, which really reflects what our comprehensive plan states. We've analyzed all required elements according to state law. And we see that the proposed future land use map amendment does not fail to discourage urban sprawl, and that it actually does discourage urban sprawl in that part of our city. Due to the fact that it meets our comprehensive plan requirements and the state law, we do recommend that the City Council approve the second reading of Ordinance 09-2025. If it is henceforth approved tonight, it will go into effect 31 days from the actual adoption, which would be tonight, 31 days from today. If the proposed ordinance does not challenge anything in that period, and staff will then update our future land use map and have that on display in City Hall and also online. Thank you.
Thank you. City Clerk, is there any public participation?
No, ma'am, there is not.
Thank you. Councilmember Sell, questions or comments?
No questions.
Councilmember Papalardo.
No questions.
Councilmember Stevenson.
Just one quick question. Why was this exempted from a concurrency review by the Volusia County Public Schools?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, it says
The
on here
rezoning,
for school capacity.
it did go to school capacity.
Right, but it
with
says
Volusia
it was
County.
exempt.
Because of the type of land use. It's their rules, it's their exemption rules.
So even though we were going from one house per 5 acres to one.
Correct.
To
I
one.
mean, it did get staffed with Volusia County Public Schools.
But they're not
To the
concerned
planning
about
staff, and they did issue a letter of, I believe it's called something like a letter of exemption or something like that. And that is on file with city staff for review if
And so
anybody wishes.
does that basically mean they're not counting any of those properties as future students?
Now, when it would go into review for concurrency,
Is when there's a
the
plan.
next step would be if there was a site plan or a subdivision applied to that. And anytime they would go more than, the additional acres.
Okay.
More than just, because the intent is not to develop the property at this time. Once it goes into development, that is then when the concurrency letter would be issued and the capacity would be evaluated.
Okay, thank you.
But at this time, at this phase of the process, it would be granted the exemption, and we have that on file. Yep.
Anyone else?
I have no other comments, thank you.
Okay. I will be declaring a conflict of interest and will not vote on this. I will file the appropriate form with the state as required. And that my conflict is direct, and I have a material financial interest in that I am the intended purchaser of the lot should it be created. So I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the second reading of ordinance number 09-2025, a request for comprehensive plan, future land use map amendment to reclassify the property address at 465 West High Banks Road from AOS to agricultural rural transitional.
Second?
Councilmember Papalardo?
Yes.
Councilmember Sell?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Butland?
Yes.
Next, we have agenda item, public hearing number 7. It is related to the same actions. Growth Management is requesting the City Council approve the second reading of ordinance number 10-2025, a request for a zoning map amendment to rezone the property addressed as 465 West High Banks Road from rural agricultural A2 to rural residential RR. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, and according to our resolution 1521, I must explain to you the process, which is up on the screen in front of you. First, the city clerk will swear in any witnesses. Anyone that is going to speak on this item that is not a lawyer would stand to be sworn in. There would be disclosure of any ex parte communications by the city council, the presentation by the city staff. There's an allotment of time. The applicant's case, if the applicant chooses to speak, there's a lot of time. There's time for public comments, 3 minutes each. And then if there were any comments that the applicant would like to rebut, they have a time that they can do that. And then there would be deliberations and there would be action by the council. So this is the process that we will follow. City clerk, would you, where's my list here? And we must, these are our responsibilities, and it goes into detail according to the law. We must consider evidence, facts. This is not an emotional decision or something that we allow hypothetical, speculative, fearful, or emotion-based generalizations or statements to rule. So, City Clerk, could you put it back to the list of, there we go. Would you swear in witnesses? This will be anyone who may speak on this item. Anyone from the church who might answer a question should stand to be sworn in.
Would you like me to read it, Mayor?
And then I do want you to read the ordinance, yes.
Would you raise your right hand? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Thank you.
Now, City Attorney, would you read ordinance number 10-2025, please?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 10-2025, an ordinance of the City Council of DeBary, Florida, amending the official zoning map of the City of DeBary, rezoning a parcel of land being approximately plus minus 18.05 acres located at 465 West High Banks Road from A-2 rural agriculture to RR, that's rural residential, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date.
Thank you. City Clerk, would you also poll for any ex parte communications by the City Council?
Councilmember Sell?
Nothing to report.
And Councilmember Papalardo?
No ex parte communication.
Councilmember Stevenson?
No ex parte communications.
Mayor Chazet?
I was updated on the progress of the application by the applicant.
Vice Mayor Butlin?
No ex parte, thank you.
Now we will have the presentation of the applicants by the city staff, and then followed by any comments that the applicant would choose to make.
All right, good evening. Stephen Bapp, Growth Management Director. This is ordinance 10-2025. It is a zoning map amendment, which does correspond with the previously read comprehensive plan amendment. It follows the same timeline. In July, the applicant came forward to change the zoning of 465 West High Banks Road from rural agricultural A2 to rural residential RR. The Development Review Committee discussed the zoning map amendment and recommended it for approval on the 19th of August 2025. Following our process, the applicant hosted a community meeting on the 21st of October. Several residents attended. The main concerns discussed were prospects of further development and any potential for flooding. The applicant has stated at that meeting that they had intended to this purpose of this rezoning to sell off a 1-acre lot. On the 5th of November, the City Council approved the first reading of this ordinance. Once again, it is the same property as discussed in the last case. It's 18.05 acres with 2.91 acres of conservation easement, a tower lease, and existing buildings belonging to the applicant. The current zoning as reflected is A2, shown on the screen in the center, outlined in a light blue or teal. It'll be changed to RR, which is consistent with the surrounding lot sizes in the surrounding area, and is adjacent property. There is a rural residential zoned subdivision, unrecorded subdivision across the street. On what this ordinance does, it rezones West High Banks from A2 to RR and moves the requirement of lot size from 5 acres to 1 acre. We do evaluate the proposal with our comprehensive plan, and we had found it to be consistent with with our comprehensive plan. We look at the other factors to see if there's going to be a detrimental or endangerment to the public health, safety, and general welfare, and we find that the rezoning to an RR would not create such a condition. Also, staff looks at the proposed see if it's an orderly pattern and development of the surrounding properties. And we do find that the uses permitted in the RR zoning classification would not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding properties, and therefore is consistent with this evaluation criteria. We also look at the proposed uses permitted in the rezoning, and we find that it is consistent with the surrounding uses of the area. And we look at infrastructure is adequate to support the rezoning, and we do find there is existing infrastructure to support such a rezoning. The proposed ordinance does not qualify as spot zoning, which is changing the zoning in the middle of a area which would be inconsistent. And we reviewed the criteria of section 4.3 of our land development code, and we found that it is not a violation of the spot zoning ordinance. It does meet all the criteria of our comprehensive plan and our land development code, and it has been reviewed by the Development Review Committee of meeting such criteria, and it was reviewed by the City Council, and City Council did approve the first reading back in November. Due to these factors, staff does recommend the City Council approve the second reading of Ordinance 10-2025, and we will, if so approved tonight, we will move forward, and as the future land use was approved, we will update the maps as appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you. Does the applicant wish to make any comments? Identify your name.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of the City Council. Sid Valine Jr., spokesperson for Community Methodist Church of DeBary, 418 River Drive, DeBary. The applicant is the Methodist Church, 41 West High Banks Road in DeBary. In case there is a question, I would let you know that our pastor, Mike Stortz, is here for any comments or questions. In short, the first hearing, we presented substantial evidence that this request is compatible. We also presented the densities of surrounding communities, most of which far exceed 1 acre, 1 lot per acre. And Councilmember Stevenson, to answer your question, as part of preparation, I did fill out the application for the school system, and there is a standing rule: if a proposed residential classification involves 10 lots or less, they do not require the procedure for classifying potential classroom need. So this was actually waived by the school board. But at this point, we have shown that this is compatible with the neighborhood.
Thank you. City
We're
Clerk.
available for any questions.
City Clerk, do we have any public participation?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay. With no public participation, unless the applicant so chooses, I don't think you want your rebuttal time? No, thank you. Any questions or comments Councilmember Sell?
No question.
Councilmember
questions.
Papalardo?
No questions.
Councilmember Stevenson?
No questions. Thank you for clarifying about the schools.
Vice Mayor Butlin?
I'm good, thank you, Mayor.
On this, as on the previous agenda item, I will declare a legal conflict of interest and will not vote. I do intend to be the purchaser of the property. I do not intend to develop it, as I have disclosed in the past, and I will file the required form with the state. If there's no further discussion, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the second reading of ordinance number 10-2025, a request for a zoning map amendment to rezone the property addressed at 465 West High Banks Road from rural agricultural A2 to rural residential RR.
Second?
Councilmember Papalardo?
Yes.
Councilmember Sell?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Butlin?
Yes.
All right, the next item on our agenda is the city manager's request of the city council to approve the settlement offer in the City of DeBary versus Eason Realty LLC et al., case number 2025-12003 CIDL, filed in Circuit Court for Volusia County, Florida. City manager, you're going to present?
Yes, Mayor. Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. This particular issue has been, as you know, been going on for more than 5 years. In 2022, this case was brought to code enforcement where the property owner permit had expired. He was accruing fines. He had to update his engineering and did so and got his permit in 2023. He paid at that time $33,000 in fines to get his permit. He got his permit in 2023, and 6 months later, your permits expire when you have no inspections for 6 months. So in 2023, he did not have anything, no inspections in 2023. Therefore, his permit has expired. Because he's a repeat offender, the city of DeBary brought a special code enforcement case to the special magistrate. And on February the 8th, 2024, the special magistrate found him in violation, and his fines were $500 per day. So obviously, from that particular time forward, nothing with the property transpired. No action was taken, didn't apply for any additional permits, didn't redo his engineering. The project stayed idle as the code enforcement fines accrued. So on or about June 17, 2025, the accrued fines were totaling $247,000. The city of DeBary filed a notice of lis pendens against Eason Realty, which is the property owner, to foreclose on the property at 150 South U.S. Highway 1792 for the non-payment of code enforcement fines. The city had filed a lien in February 8th, 2024. So after filing for the foreclosure, Eason Realty listed the property for $1.8 million. Tried to sell the property, and during the course of the foreclosure action, communications back and forth with Eason Realty, we ultimately settled on the city purchasing the property for $700,000. And so the terms of the settlement are as follows. Eason Realty did sign the commercial purchase and sales contract, which is included in your packet there. That the city will waive all current code enforcement fines, and all parties will pay their respective attorneys. Eason Realty will pay their brokerage fees, because obviously they listed the property. They will satisfy the first mortgage, so that when the city purchases it, the property will be free and clear. And there's some other smaller terms, et cetera, et cetera. As you can see, the property here, it's in obviously dilapidated state. The perimeter is in decent shape and salvageable. And so so we ask that and recommend that the city go ahead and approve the settlement offer. We anticipate closing within 30 days. And then we will work with our particular broker to go ahead and list the property, and with that, turn this property over to a property owner who will redevelop this particular property and return it into a viable use. So I'll be glad to fill you in on any questions you might have.
City Clerk, do we have any public participation?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Councilmember Sell, questions and comments?
It says that Easton Realty listed the property for $1.8 million. Is that a typo?
No.
No?
They listed it for $1.8 million. I think the day after we filed the foreclosure, they got served on the foreclosure.
And we're going to purchase it for $700K?
Correct.
What are we going to sell the property for if we have an interest?
Well, we're going to be working on the broker. I mean, our mission is our mission is to turn this property over to somebody who will renovate the particular property, either tear the building down or renovate it. Also, within a specific time frame, because obviously we don't want somebody to purchase this particular property and sit on it for another 5 years. And so that's going to be one of our missions in that regard. But we'll talk with the broker, and we'll determine the value of the property and make some decisions there and list it. But we believe it will probably list it north of $1 million.
Our priority is not going to be profit over, our concern is to get it in the hands of somebody who's going to do something.
Well, I mean,
with it.
you're spending, generally, break even. Obviously, the $700,000, but we got a bunch of other costs that we have put into this, which is both code enforcement, our attorneys that have been working on this foreclosure case, et cetera, et cetera. So we have, we'll have brokerage fees and everything else. So that we'll have the expenses there, and we'll try to recover everything that we've expended.
So we're not interested in losing any money on this.
That's one of the reasons that we brought this settlement there, is that it's at a price we believe that we could turn the property over and recoup all the city's expenses.
That's all I got.
Councilmember Papalardo?
I am so excited for today. I remember brainstorming the strategy.
It's okay.
And I feel like it has all gone according to plan. And it taught me how slow this process goes. It's kind of like Art of the Deal, where Cartman had to be Donald Trump today for 2 years, and he had to create leverage that didn't exist to begin with, and then apply that leverage, and then we got leverage applied back with someone trying to list it for $1.8 million. So this was really something. I can't wait to get this one off the board, because what a pain this has been for everybody since 2018. What a shame. But we're there, and now it's in the hands of the city that we can actually move forward with it, and we actually are in control of the future of this property for the most part, and we're not at the behest of bad faith development. Thanks.
Councilmember Stevenson?
No further questions, just to also echo that I'm looking forward to seeing this getting taken care of and returning a service to our community with a business here.
Vice Mayor Butlin?
All I can say is hallelujah. This has been, they call it the eyesore of DeBary, and I really hate those comments. So I'm excited to have this place cleaned up and done something with it. It's a good thing. This is good for DeBary. So I'm looking forward to who comes in there. Hint, hint.
I am thrilled that we are at this position. I would make a couple of comments for the public in the consideration of the council. I think that the one reason we got it down to 700 is, for ourselves, we forgave the 247,000 or whatever it was in accrued code enforcement fees. We would not have done that for another buyer. So this has an implied price of just under $1 million for the selling party. And I think it's a fair result. And I do think that it puts the city in a position to recover that 947 or whatever it is thousand, plus our legal fees in pursuing this, plus our brokerage fees, Plus, I would suggest, and I have mentioned to the city manager, I bring it into the public here, for very little money, as soon as we own title, I would like to see us do a couple of things to show the public that this is moving forward. To wit, the city manager notes that there are some dead palm trees and he's willing to go in and cut them down and remove them. You can see from this side shot that to me it looks like there's algae or mold or something growing on the outside of the building because it's just been to the elements with no paint or anything for this long. I suggested and would hope that this might be a realistic suggestion that we could power wash the building. And that, of course, we could pick up the debris, anything that's loose there. And I think those would be very minimal things to send an early message. The city has it, we're moving ahead with a plan, and we don't like the way it looks either. And I think these items would be less than $1,000 to get done, is my guess. So I do hope that we can send a message to the community that we are done with it looking this way too. And I think those suggestions would it won't do a huge amount, but it would pretty quickly let the neighborhood know this isn't how the city maintains properties that they hold, even if they are not currently being built.
Yep, Mayor, if I may, our strategy, I've been working with the building official, is to, we will close up this particular building. And also in the back, close up that particular area and provide a door so that we could access the building. Once that's closed and the building is secure, then we will clean up the property, remove the fence. That will be
power wash it.
And power wash it.
Thank
you. And then at least make the property presentable as best we possibly can. So we'll spend a little time mowing all the weeds and taking down the trees that are dead and trimming them up. There is some oak trees that are limbs that are down and everything else, and so and there's some material on this particular property. And so once the building is safe and the property is safe, then we'll remove the fence, and that will be a big plus. So
thank you. If there's no further discussion, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, where is it? To approve the settlement offer for the City of DeBary versus Easton Realty LLC et al., case number 2025-12003-CIDL, filed with the Circuit Court of Volusia County, Florida, and authorize the city manager to sign and execute the agreements.
Second.
Vice Mayor Butland?
Yes.
Councilmember Pappalardo?
Yes.
Councilmember Sell?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevenson?
Yes.
And I am a hearty yes. We're moving on to member reports and communications.
Yes.
Councilmember Sell, anything to report?
Nothing to report at this time.
Councilmember Pappalardo?
Quick report. I am VITA, the Voluntary Income Tax Assistance Program, is happening. Stetson University is one of the providers via the United Way for low-income households looking for help with tax prep. The students will do it for you. I am participating in that service as well. So,
As a low-income resident, or as assisting the process?
as a preparer.
Oh, great. Councilmember Stevenson?
Nothing to report, thank you.
Vice Mayor Butland?
Oh, I've got it. I attended William Sell and I attended the Volusia League of Cities in Oak Hill, and you missed a good one. Oyster bar, 3 different ways, shrimp galore. It was wonderful, so that was a good event. I heard Shari on a panel at the Econ meeting, her and 2 other cities in the county. I did the spelling bee. I was the judge of the spelling bee for the DeBary Elementary School. The following day, I did Literacy Week, where I read to 2 of the classes. And then this past week, I was at the installation dinner for the DeLand Chamber of Commerce, or Greater DeLand, whatever they are. I also want to remind our citizens that Citizens Academy went out, If you haven't signed up for that, it starts on April 14th, and it's, I believe, a 8-week program.
Yes, 8.
So if you haven't, it's out there. Please apply, get to know your city. We'd love having you at that. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Some of my activities were my normal ones. I was at the TPO board meeting, and there is a call for projects that I hope our staff is taking advantage of in the next couple of weeks. I also attended the 4 chaplain service at the American Legion this last Sunday. This is a remembrance of something that happened in World War II on the USS Dorchester, which was hit and did go down. There were 4 chaplains, all of different faiths, on the vessel with over 900 people. And there were not enough life vests to go around, and the 4 chaplains gave their life vests to the other people, and they went down with the ship. And so this is a remembrance of that, and its message that you can have unity without uniformity. And so it was a very touching ceremony. I think that the American Legion in Deltona is doing it sometime in the next few days. This was the DeBerry one. And I also attended the DeLand and Greater West Volusia Chamber Annual Meeting and Installation, and the Economic Development Panel, which our Economic Development person, Sherry, was a great contributor on. The next meeting, I will be absent due to travel, so that is the explanation. It's very rare that I'm not here for a meeting, but the mid-February meeting, the Vice Mayor will run. City Manager, anything to report?
Mayor, I do not.
City Attorney?
No report, Mayor, Council.
Excellent. Hearing nothing further, we stand adjourned.